Well, guys, we've read 100 books, and today Grandma's going to do something a little different. For the next few days, Grandma's going to read you some poems, and we're going to read 100 poems in the next 15 days or so. Poetry is more about being able to picture things in your mind. So Grandma's not going to show you a lot of pictures this time. You're going to have to kind of close your eyes and think about things. What would it look like? A lot of poems have a lot of rhymes in them, and they have different measures and things. So we're going to read some funny poems and some silly poems and some more serious poems, but poems that children should just maybe kind of know. This is one Grandma had to memorize when I was in 3rd grade. It's called Block City, and it's by a famous author and poet, Robert Louis Stevenson. And I'm going to read 4 of his poems, and then one poem by Robert Frost. This one is called Block City. And I know you guys like playing with blocks, so you can kind of close your eyes and think about what it's like to build with blocks. What are you able to build with your blocks? Castles and palaces, temples and docks. Rain may keep raining while others go roam, but I can be happy building at home. Let the sofa be mountains, the carpet be sea. There I'll establish a city for me, a kirk and a mill and a palace beside, and a harbor as well where my vessels can ride. Great is the palace with pillar and wall, a sort of a tower on top of it all, and steps coming down in an orderly way to where my toy vessels lie safe in the bay. This one is sailing, that one is moored. Hark to the sound of the sailor on board, and see on the steps of the palace the kings coming and going with presents and things. This one is also by Robert Louis Stevenson. It's called The Land of Nod. From breakfast and on through all the day, at home among my friends I stay. But every night I go abroad, afar into the land of Nod. All by myself I have to go, with none to tell me what to do, all alone beside the streams and up the mountain sides of dreams. The strangest things are there for me, both things to eat and things to see, and many frightening sights aboard, till morning in the land of Nod. Try as I like to find the way, I never can go back by day. What's the land of Nod? Kind of have to think about that one. Robert Louis Stevenson is talking about the dreams we have while we're sleeping. This one is called My Shadow. And I know you guys have fun going outside and looking at your shadows in the sunlight. My Shadow by Robert Louis Stevenson. I have a little shadow that goes in and out with me, and what can be the use of him is more than I can see. He is very, very like me from the heels up to my head, and I see him jump before me when I jump into my bed. The funniest things about him is the way he likes to grow. Not at all like proper children, which is always very slow. For sometimes he shoots up taller like an Indian rubber ball, and sometimes he gets so little there's none of him at all. He's got a notion of how children ought to play and can only make a fool of me in every sort of way. He stays so close beside me, he's a coward, you can see. I think it's a shame to stick to nursery as that shadow sticks to me. One morning very early, before the sun was up, I rose and found the shining dew on every buttercup. But my lazy little shadow, like an errant sleepyhead, had stayed at home behind me and was fast asleep in bed. The swing. How do you like to go up in a swing, up in the air so blue? Oh, I do think it's the pleasantest thing forever a child can do. Up in the air and over the wall till I can see so wide, rivers and trees and cattle and all over the countryside. Till I look down on the garden green, down on the roof so brown, And up in the air I go flying again, up in the air and down. Now this poem is by Robert Frost. This will be poem number 5. One day, but 5 poems. This is called Stopping by the Woods on a Snowy Evening. Whose woods are these? I think I know. His house is in the village, though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. My little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near, between the woods and frozen lake, the darkness evening of the year. He gives his harness, bells a shake, to ask if there is some mistake. The only other sound's the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep. And miles to go before I sleep. Stopping by the woods on a snowy evening. Some poetry to add to our time together. Have a good day.